Hello, everyone. I am ZHAO Chuang. Let us draw the feeding way of Mosasaurus. Mentioning this, we have to talk about the whole skull structure of Mosasaurus. Mosasaurus was a carnivore in the sea which could prey on large animals without hands, or unlike land animals which can drag and rub their prey on the ground as the assisting. How could Mosasaurus use its mouth to swallow such large animals? There is one point we have to understand, that is its oral structure. First, the skull structure of Mosasaurus was very unusual, especially its lower jaw, which divided into two sections. In the middle of its lower jaw, there was a somewhat soft joint, and at the temporomandibular joint, there was a pulley-like structure, which allowed its lower jaw to move backward. Such a structure, when it feeding, could help to swing its lower jaw slightly, and move it backward to convey the prey into its mouth. What is more, in its upper jaw, there was a structure called the pterygoid teeth. The pterygoid bone could also help to pull the food inward. Next, through the way of drawing, we will get to know how its mouth worked. We draw a sketch of its skull first. We will start from its cranium. This position was its eye socket. Here was its jugal bone. Then behind and under its eye socket, its quadrate bone was here. Its nostrils were at an upper position. In its mouth, there were sharp teeth. These teeth all curved backward, which made the bitten prey not easy to escape. Many specimens of Mosasaurus preserved the sclerotic ring in their eye socket, the sclerotic ring fixed on the eyeball to connect the muscles. This structure allows us to know when Mosasaurus was alive, how big its eyes were. When it was alive, its eyes were inside the sclerotic ring, probably like this big. Then in its oral cavity, there was a structure called the pterygoid, which can be found on many animals. But animals like Mosasaurus, snakes, and lizards also had teeth growing on the pterygoid bone like this. This is a structure that other animals do not have. We go on to draw its lower jaw, by starting from its rear part, that is, the piece of bone without teeth. Its lower jaw was a huge diamond in general. Here was a big joint. The front half of its lower jaw is dentary, which was full of teeth. Its lower jaw divided into two sections that had a big difference with other animals. Besides the dinosaurs, many other animals had their lower jaw fused into a hole. But at this position, Mosasaurus had a somewhat elastic joint, which allowed its lower jaw to swing slightly, or move up and down, or like this. Viewed from the front, such a lower jaw joint also could make it extend outward to the sides, and allow it to swallow larger prey. From the front, this joint also could curve up and down slightly. This pulley-like structure slid its lower jaw backward, and enabled its mouth open to a bigger angle. When Mosasaurus feeding, these backward curving teeth made it difficult for the bitten prey to escape outward, and the pulley structure pulled its lower jaw backward to convey the food into the mouth. When Mosasaurus swallowed the food to this position, the pterygoid teeth in the upper jaw could hold the prey, move it backward, and help to gulp it inward. So we can imagine that, when Mosasaurus saw a somewhat large prey, it opened its huge mouth. If the prey was big enough, it would bend its lower jaw slightly to an angle like this. We can draw a relatively big prey in its mouth. For example, we can draw a polycotyl that have been gulped into its mouth. The teeth in its upper and lower jaw could help Mosasaurus to hold the prey, then the lower jaw would bend to a certain angle, allowing it to gulp the food. The above is the explanation of the feeding way of Mosasaurus,